All of them balled out. What do they all have in common? All true freshmen. So regardless of what this season holds or what the immediate future holds, the future remains bright here at LSU. And now it wasn't perfect. We'll address the good with the bad. There are still things to figure out defensively. The penalties early on were an issue earlier tonight, but on the whole, it was a fantastic game, and we will celebrate it. We'll even touch on the Finley, Brennan controversy that I'm sure y'all will call about and the announcers are pushing at the end of the game. But the main takeaway, again here, the main takeaway should be that this is a team that was backed into a corner. Like a wild animal, right? Their fight or flight instincts were kicking in, and they sat there with a road forking in front of them. And yeah, they could have folded. They could have given up. TJ Finley could have made the moment too big for him. That would have been easy. It would have been expected. But they did none of that. Like Bob Frost, they took the hard road. They took the road less traveled, and they said, no more of this BS. And they stepped up, and they kicked ass, and they showed that they are tougher than that. And it ain't over, and this is just the beginning. Sometimes rock bottom reveals your true colors and who you really are. And tonight, this team revealed to me that they are some fighters. And you are now 12-0 in the Orgeron era following a loss. So that's the takeaway to me. A program win tonight. The exact fighting, stabilizing performance that gives you hope for the future once again. All right, Emil, I will let you now. What was your main takeaway from tonight's game?
I think the one thing that I've gone into this entire season looking at is the fact that the running game was questionable.
Yeah.
We always had to fight through passing the ball and finding different wide receivers to look at. But tonight you showed that you have a two-headed monster between Davis Price and Emory. And you've got guys between those that got 40 attempts. Both scored touchdowns.
Yep.
And both look like capable running backs. And that's my biggest point, is that the running game gives us potential for the lack of the defense and all of its faults to ball control down the season when we need to do it.
And I think there's something that I know that we touched on during the Fan Cave stream, certainly, but it is interesting, right? Sometimes, they say necessity is the mother of invention, right? Sometimes it forces you to do things that you wouldn't otherwise. By not having Miles Brennan, you were not allowed to lean on that crutch. You knew you were throwing a true freshman quarterback out there. You needed to take pressure off him, so you knew you had to run the ball from a play calling standpoint. And so you see, instead of the 2-to-1 pass to run, tonight it was 2-to-1 run to pass. So they were forced to do so, and they were successful. Ed Ingram obviously played a huge role in making that work. Alex, what were your big takeaways from tonight's win?
So surprisingly, after most of the season has been spent talking about the defense and that being in question, mine is also an offense. And it seems like for the past, decade, 20 years, that LSU has been searching for quarterbacks, for recruiting, all the way through developing quarterbacks. It's been hard for LSU to find anything consistent with quarterbacks. Yeah. It's been a quarterback grab bag. You don't know what you're going to get year to year. What do we have this year? Well, this year, we have a system.
Yeah.
We have a system where we can plug a quarterback in that is a true freshman, and that can go 17 of 21.
It's crazy.
To think we're at that point in 3 years in the Steve Ensminger era of calling plays, for after 1 year of Joe Brady to have a system where we can take a true freshman, plug him in, and go 17 of 21 for 200-something yards.
Yeah, I think
it's insane.
Like 270 by the end. No, it's wild. 12 yards per attempt. TJ Finley was fantastic. He really only made one mistake on the entire night. And in the postgame, we'll hear from Orgeron's postgame coming up next, and then get to your calls as well. But in the postgame, he was talking about Coach Ensminger and just what he meant to him and getting him ready this week. But yes, the entire offensive staff take a bow because this was a wonderful game plan. And look, this is a team, you never really know what you have until you start to learn it on the field. And this is a team that is starting to find itself, right? You saw John Emery. Now he is clearly the RB1. Now you have a great two-headed monster with him and TDP, but it looks like Emery's going to be the one that you're going to go to first. And then TDP could kind of be your finisher. Maybe he's your first down back, right? And then you also saw some other personnel changes made towards the end of the game. Damone Clark really struggled tonight. They ended up putting in Micah Baskerville. So this is a team that is still and you didn't see Torrey Carter coming in for Arik Gilbert at all tonight in terms of that rotation. So this is everybody over these past 2 weeks had to really look at the roles that they played in creating the 1 and 2 start for this LSU team. And they had a lot to prove. And in my opinion, they did an excellent job of proving that, like I said, that the future remains bright. The sky is not falling. And that, look, and I still don't know what this year holds, like this season holds, because you're still having to overcome a lot. And South Carolina is not one of the better teams on your schedule, but you showed market improvement, and you have to imagine that this can be a bit of a confidence, like, launching point for this team, a team that I feel almost needed to prove to themselves that they could come out here and have this type of game against a good team, right? It's one thing to play well against Vanderbilt. You don't really take too much away from that. South Carolina is an okay team. They're 2-2. They got a couple nice wins. This LSU team needed to prove that to themselves this season, and they did just that. All right, when we get back, we will get to Coach O's post-game comments, and then we'll start taking your calls. Again, 225-499-9898 is the number. If you want to get involved, this is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
I can't tell you how many people tried to discourage me when I said, I'm opening up a haunted house. If you love doing something, don't let anything or anyone stand in your way.
How he comes up with this stuff in his head and designs it is mind-boggling.
Debbie and Home Bank understand my business and understand that it's not normal. They've worked with me since the beginning to help my business grow.
Foundation failure is common in South Louisiana, and that's why homeowners here turn to a local company they can trust, WCK Foundation Repair.
WCK is the only company that specializes in drilled piers, the ideal solution for Louisiana's unique soil conditions. WCK is locally owned and operated by a group of professionals with years of experience.
Learn more about the signs of foundation failure on WCKFoundationRepair.com. Call for a free estimate. WCK Foundation Repair. Support the home team.
When morning came to Louisiana, we were hopeful, not hibernating. We were mending fences, feeding neighbors, and holding our kids. When morning came to Louisiana, we were wide awake, planting seeds for next year's crops. We were stronger, ready for what's next. And together, as we build anew, Blue Cross stands ready to support you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online...
Eagle 98.1.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. LSU dominates South Carolina with TJ Finley, true freshman quarterback starting. What a night for the Tigers after 2 weeks. So much uncertainty, so much questions swirling around this program. An emphatic statement from LSU tonight. Let's hear what the head man had to say. Here is Coach O
Very proud
as he addressed the media after the game.
about football team. 2 weeks of hard work. Here's what I asked them: stay together. Here's what we demanded of the coaches. Start with me. We coach better, coach harder. We coached more goal line offense. It paid off today. We did more service team work than we usually do. Paid off for us. This is a total team effort, and I got to thank the coaching staff. They worked tireless hours to get our guys done. Were we perfect tonight? No. We got a lot of things still to shore up on defense, especially in our coverage. Guys weren't running wide open. We still got to continue to fix it. I thought our pass rush was outstanding, led by B.J. Ojulari. I think he had 3 sacks. What a tremendous freshman. And then we're really proud of TJ. And, that's what we saw in camp. I mean, TJ is a competitor. So is Max. You saw him out there. We have 2 outstanding young quarterbacks. I thought our running game, Steve Ensminger did a better job with our running game. John Emery showed up. Ty Davis ran well. Just overall great team effort and the score and special teams.
Yeah, and that this is a 3-phase win tonight. And although the defense was not great, nobody thought that the defense would be great. You needed them to be acceptable. And they were acceptable tonight. They give you a score. Special teams gives you a score. And next thing you know, you're beating South Carolina by 30-plus, putting over 50 on the scoreboard. All right, let's go ahead and go to the phone lines. We got Derek in Baton Rouge. Derek, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
What's going on, T-Bob? Can I put on my Tiger hat tonight?
Absolutely. Throw it on. We all are.
Yeah,
I have my Tiger underwear on.
Well, you know, normally I normally wear a maroon hat, but tonight I'm wearing a Tiger hat because, wow, what a game. I mean, I expected TJ Finley to have a good debut, but I was not expecting that. I've been watching this kid play football for a couple of years in high school, and when he committed to LSU, I said he's going to beat somebody out. And I know Coach O said Miles is this starting quarterback, but when you have a debut like that, I mean, how can you keep that guy on the sideline? You know what I'm saying?
It's okay. So, Derek, it's an interesting conversation, right? And you raise a good point. By the way, I still owe you singing the Mississippi State fight song on air.
Well, no, we lost to Kentucky, so you know that was a new bet. You know.
Yeah, but I got you. I'm going to pay it up. But here, so Derek, you raise, I think, what is kind of on everybody's mind right now, which is oddly enough the main conversational takeaway of this seems to be between Finley and Miles going forward. Here is my issue with how a lot of this is being positioned. And look, first, let's say this: TJ Finley was unreal tonight. Like, maybe the best thing that you could say about him, the stats are really good. We rattled off all that. But to me, the best thing were the intangible type of stuff, right? He never looked overwhelmed. Now, the O-line protected him, but he never looked uncomfortable in the pocket. The moment never looked too big for him. His decisions were quick. They were the correct decisions. And that boy could throw, dude. I mean, these things were some ropes. So TJ Finley is fantastic. I do not think TJ Finley is as good as Miles Brennan just yet. And the reason why I feel comfortable saying that is simply because just do this in your head. Just play this game in your head and see how you feel. Is like if you had the games that Miles had played in the first 3, where admittedly against Mississippi State he did not play his best. He struggled even though he had some good kind of volume numbers. But if you were to take those offensive performances and then you were going to throw in the rushing attack from tonight, or you were going to throw in the defensive performance from tonight, or the special teams, really just the team performance from tonight, all of a sudden you would be even more hyped on Miles Brennan than you were. That was one of my biggest problems with the losses, is that instead of celebrating this new consistent LSU offense where we're like legitimately scoring 30-plus a game, and we can always have good quarterback play. Instead, the quarterback kind of became an afterthought. It was like, yeah, he played good. But we got to talk about this. We got to focus on all this. So tonight was a night where the offense at the quarterback position was set up to shine because the rest of the team played so well. And that does not take away from anything that TJ Finley did. And who knows? I don't expect Miles back next week. So he'll have an opportunity to prove that this is the rule and not the exception. But I just think at this point, I still just I believe that Brennan is the better option at this point. I mean, just look from a pure play calling standpoint. You were at a 65-35 pass run split last week. Tonight, you were pretty much the complete opposite. So it was just a completely different game and absolutely Finley's time, but I don't know if I'm ready to make that quarterback switch yet. Where's y'all's head at with the quarterback conversation?
I think it's extremely early to come with that mindset about Brennan. I mean, or about Finley, and as compared to Brennan. I mean, you have a proven commodity with Brennan. Finley, he did everything you wanted him to do, but there's still some things that he can improve on.
Well, and this is what frustrates me is like, because that's the direction this conversation goes, and it shouldn't go that direction. Like, this should be a night where we are just celebrating TJ Finley.
Exactly.
Because what you witnessed was unbelievable. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but that is just my kind of analytical take on the quarterback, the impending quarterback battle, you can almost say. Alex, what about you?
So, I mean, quarterback wasn't the problem with our offense this year, which there's not been many problems.
Very surprising.
Yeah.
Still feels good.
So running, the running game has been the problem. Creative running game. That's where it really shined. TJ played very well for a freshman, but he played the part of the quarterback in the system.
Yeah, absolutely.
He made mistakes that freshmen make with his pick, with a few other things, but he didn't lose us the game. He would play the part of the sixth. He didn't play bad enough. He played very, very well. Our running game is what shined tonight. And that seemed like the focus to say, we're going to run the ball.
And you were better for it. Like you were forced to commit to the run, and you were better for it. And the entire offense as a whole just felt so much more efficient and so much more effective. All right, let's go.
I was just going to say it's the first time all year that the one thing that O has brought up since he became head coach here is balance. And this is the first time in 2020 that the team has been balanced.
Yeah, they've been. And also, in terms of things that O said, because after the game you heard him talking about B.J. Ojulari, so he's been getting a lot of grief over things he said over the summer that have ended up not being true, right? Mainly the defensive comment. But there are other things that he hyped up over the summer that have absolutely come true. Obviously, Reed Gilbert's one, but I mean, B.J. Ojulari, I was a doubter. He kept talking about this freshman cat, Ojulari. He's going to be awesome. He's going to be awesome. I did not believe it. I didn't think a freshman could be that effective as a consistent pass rusher, and yet here we sit, 3 sacks tonight for Ojulari. I will say this in the defense. We'll get into this as well. This was such a good matchup for them stylistically that I still, we still have major questions going forward. But you feel much better, like regardless of where it goes, you feel much better right now today than you did 4 or 5 hours ago when it still felt like the entire season was balancing on a knife's edge. Remember, coming into this game, I was calling this the defense's last stand. And they didn't play perfect by any stretch. In fact, I don't even know if they played great, but they played good enough. And that's what you need from the defense this season is to play good enough. All right, let's go to Jason in Baton Rouge. Jason, what's up, bro?
Hey, T-Bob. Hey, great win. Look, Ojulari, Anthony.
Yep.
And dadgum Ricks.
Yeah.
Great. Outstanding.
I mean,
what do y'all feel on them moving forward? Defense played pretty solid. I was in section 414 watching.
Okay, hell yeah, Jason. How's the stadium tonight?
It was awesome. You can't. I mean, other than a packed house, you can't ask for better. Tiger Stadium Saturday night, best ever in my opinion, hands down.
Okay,
do you think?
You wanted us to talk about Ojulari, Ricks, and who else?
And Anthony.
Oh yeah.
Andre Anthony, first drive, boom, sack.
Anthony's been fantastic. Jason, thank you so much for the call. Anthony has been Anthony's been fantastic this year. I don't know if anyone has benefited more from the switch to the 4-3 than did Andre Anthony. Because remember, it felt like him and Ray Thornton's names kind of became like a running joke for a time there. Whereas they were just always mentioned like on the depth chart, like, oh, and then we got Andre Anthony and Ray Thornton. And they just never amounted to anything. You could tell that his body type, his play style is much better suited to this defense, and he's made plays. Actually, he's probably been, he's near LSU's most consistent defender, and I think Eli Ricks would be as well. What do you think about the freshman number 1?
He makes me excited.
Hell yeah. Hell yes. He's got 3 picks in 4 games.
He makes me excited. I think that's the quickest thing. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
And you think about this, like the potential is if you can get the linebacking core figured out, you get some of the other stuff figured out, the Stingley and Ricks as a cover corner, just a strict cover corner combo. I know it sounds crazy to say this given what we've seen out of the LSU defense thus far, but like at their peak, if they're set up for success correctly like they should be, like there's an argument to be made that might be the best quarterback tandem in maybe in the country, like certainly in the SEC when you talk about those two guys. And we mentioned this earlier, but Ricks is going to continue to get these opportunities because you cannot attack Stingley.
Sure.
Teams, it's the same thing that it's that classic LSU cycle where CB2 gets all the action because CB1 is shutting people down. And then the next year, CB2 becomes CB1, and then the stats go to the next guy, right? We saw it with like Greedy Williams. We saw it happens every year, and it's happening right now again in front of your face. The thing is, though, Eli Ricks maybe has like better ball skills than even a lot of the recent great corners that you've had. I mean, when you look at how consistently he's coming down with these plays, and he's only going to get better with more time on task as he continues to kind of adjust to the college speed of the game. And what anything to add on the Ojulari front?
He was just everywhere. I was expecting Ali Gay to be that tonight, and it looked like he actually played the run a lot better than he had been. But Ojulari just pinned his ears back. Time and time again.
And he seems like he's got a nice, a pass rusher is kind of like a pitcher, right? You want to have like 3 moves that you feel super confident in. And you saw Ojulari's up and under. I think you saw a spin one time. You mentioned his high motor. That's another key to pass success, which we should also mention. Some of those sacks tonight were coverage sacks. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you were getting home with just rushing 4. If you can consistently get home with 4, that is a recipe for defensive success. All right, let's take one more call and we'll go to commercial break. We got Maxwell at Baton Rouge. Maxwell, what's up, bro?
How's it going, y'all? Y'all have watched a lot more football than me, so far be it for me to contradict. But, how confident should we be about this defense? If going into this game, nobody would have said stopping South Carolina would have been proof positive of any sort of great defense moving forward. And, we had everything break our way. Special team touchdowns, turnovers. Every single thing broke our way, and we still had about 7 or 8 plays where it looked like we never played defense before. Ricks is a beast. Stingley's that dude. Cordell Flott, it's kind of like when people wear COVID masks on their chin. I'm glad he's on the field, but he's not covering anything, okay? Look, all I'm saying is God knows I love the Tigers. God knows I needed this win. But if in 4 weeks we still stuck on D, we're going to look back and feel like fools for believing anything we saw tonight versus a Will Muschamp coach offense.
Well, and then you raised some very good points, Maxwell. Maybe this is the point of the show where we do start to engage in a little, it's been very celebratory. It's been awesome, but let's maybe engage in some more negative points. What do y'all think about the overall defensive performance? Not just like Ojulari or Ricks, but overall how the defense looked.
There are a lot of gashes. There are a whole lot of big plays where you look at it, and we were sitting here in the fan cave, and we were oohing and awing.
Yeah, Fire Pelini made it onto the board a few times.
We calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, it started off super hot, super frustrated in the beginning. It seemed to stabilize in the middle of the game.
But I think it goes back to something that you said during your monologue, is the fact that this offense made this defense look better than obviously what we saw before. One of the things that I look at that I just pulled up is third down efficiency. South Carolina was 3 of 10.
Yeah. Actually, and while you bring that up, I also saw that LSU was 8 of 10 tonight.
Yes.
So you want to talk about getting off the field, staying on the field? That is the key to winning football games.
So I think we found, if you were looking for a get-right game, this was your opponent. This was it.
So, but then that said, then it also I don't think it's going to be as good as it looked tonight, which is a little scary because sometimes it still looked entirely too easy. Damone Clark is really struggling. I don't know exactly what's going on, but he's really struggling.
Yeah, and you could see that pretty early on. They came out and ran the same kind of misdirection as Missouri did. They watched the tape. They say, this is going to work, these jet sweeps. That looked bad. Damone Clark didn't quit on the play, ended up stopping a touchdown on one. But Baskerville did get in late. He had a few times.
He had that one nice tackle that we were all like,
shed
all
a
right, he
block.
has to start now.
Yeah, we cheered
He's the guy.
We cheered when he shed a block. That tells you what the state of we're in right now, right?
It's like a tackle for like a 2-yard gain, and we thought it was like, I mean, he's a starter. Like, absolutely.
That's our guy. I mean, we should be cautiously optimistic because we don't have any other choice. We're at the bottom. We're at the bottom right now, so we have to. All we can do is look up. So we should be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, it's like all about, okay, like what's your expectations? Don't let your expectations go wild. I just want to see a competent defense, and I saw a competent defense tonight. I'm not going to allow myself to think that they will be a good defense yet, because I still have not seen that. I am, I'm a little impressed with the pass rush for sure. I mean, if that could become something consistent, pressure with 4, then that's going to be scary for anybody to have to deal with. Yeah, but let's not go over the top and crowning them. I do think though you got to seriously. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Damone Clark. Maybe he needs just kind of a step back in responsibility. Just give him a little bit to kind of refine himself. He feels like he's in a pretty bad slump right now. And it certainly think that Baskerville, and you could tell that he's in that terrible spot where you're on such thin ice, but they're still keeping you in the game. But anytime you make one mistake, you're then taken immediately out of the game. And that's always a terrible place to exist as a player, and it's really rough. But you also pointed out something I thought very interesting earlier, Alex, which is that this is kind of just... LSU's just due for maybe some subpar linebacker play. I mean, you've been on such an unbelievable heater from guys like Quan Alexander to Deion Jones to Duke Riley. I mean, even guys like Kendall Beckwith mixed in there. Obviously, Devin White. I mean, Patrick Queen and Jacob Phillips of last year. Like, you go down the list, all the middle linebackers have not just been making the league, but then, like, kicking ass in the league, right? And so it was almost as, like, eventually you had to take a step back there, and it looks like that's what LSU's dealing with right now. But it is going to be kind of awkward next week when you could have both of your number 18s not in the starting lineup, which is kind of crazy to think about. All right, let's go to break, and when we get back, Alex, Brent, and you as well, 225-499-9898. Come join us. Let's talk about the big Tiger win here on Eagle 98.1 Game Day. T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs. Who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays? You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motors you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Dealer with a huge inventory of tractors, lawnmowers, and accessories for your lawn. Ascension Equipment also has rental equipment, and they service what they sell. Ascension Equipment and Rental in Gonzales. Save more today and mow tomorrow.
The farm provides us with many things, and it means many things. From crops to cattle, poultry, and timber, the farm is vital to our everyday lives. It's a place to enjoy the outdoors.
As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite.
Eagle 98.1.
All right, welcome back, Eagle 98.1 Game Day. We were just lamenting the fact that Will Muschamp's so bad that it kind of makes you question how good was tonight. But it was good. The bottom line is you can't control what your opponent does. This LSU team has failed tests way harder and way easier than this season. They needed this after 2 weeks to get everything right. All right, let's just dive right back into the phone lines. And look, if you're putting comments in the YouTube chat, I'm amassing them in a Google Doc. And when phones run out, we will visit all of those. So just feel free to put your questions in there as well. All right, let's go to Brent in Baton Rouge. Brent, what's up, bro?
How's it going, boys? Thank y'all for After Whiskey and Wine. You know, you got to watch the after show, you know?
Hell yeah, Brent. Thank you for being here with us, man. What you got?
My question is about Max Johnson. I mean, you look at him and he looks just like the perfect prospect, right? Why didn't they run any throw plays? And then also, since they didn't, and TJ Finley did so good tonight, how you keep him? How you keep him from transferring if you want to be QB University? You know what I'm saying? Which is what I feel like we're transitioning.
We are. We're QBU now, Brent. We said it. I mean, just look at us,
Not
dude.
QBU, you know?
I mean, we're definitely not DBU this year, so we might as well switch over and be QBU. Brent, okay, you raise a very good point. Here's what I will say is that thank you for the call. Is that again, let's celebrate tonight without being too reactive in how we form our takes going forward, right? Like, what if Finley gets out next week and struggles? They'll put Max Johnson in the game. And now I don't know that he will, because he was like way above any expectation that I had. Like we said, and I think Booger tweeted this as well, there's only one mistake. Like, really, he had one mistake, and it was that pick. Besides that, he was fantastic. But let's just pump the brakes. Let's take this one game at a time, and let's see. And then look, if after the season, like if he actually just continues to play this well and it does become a competition with him and Brennan and then Johnson, then you cross that bridge when you get there. For now, you still very much need Max Johnson. Right now, he is only one play away from going in the game. And he's really only like a couple bad series if Finley really does struggle from going in the game as well. And in terms of him not getting a throw, at that point, they just wanted to end the game. And I respect that. It is what it is. Like, he'll have his opportunity. I don't know how much he was going to gain from just a couple garbage time tosses at the end, especially because I think they were just like, look, this game's over. Let's get out of here injury-free and be good to go. So, yeah, I don't think we're at the point yet where we need to be worrying about Max Johnson maybe transferring. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Alex calling all the way from Seattle. Alex, what's up?
Hey, T-Bob, how you doing?
Doing well, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Hey, I'm Baton Rouge, born and bred, and love watching my Tigers, win a game tonight. But looking down the road, how does this team match up against the Alabamas and the Floridas?
Not great. I mean, right, if we're being honest, I mean, like, look at first off, I think this, and thank you for the call, Alex. I think that Alabama, at least, is incredible on the offensive line. So I think even with Ojulari as good as he is, I think you're going to struggle to replicate that four-man pressure that you had tonight. Even without Jalen Waddle, Mac Jones, and those receivers, I mean, their work kind of speaks for itself. Oh, and then if you can somehow manage to stop that, then you got Najee Harris. So, like, this LSU defense, they still have not shown me anything that makes me think that they can have consistent success against Alabama's offense. Now, I do think that LSU's offense, maybe no matter who's playing. Now, you got to imagine that Saban's going to have something, like, keyed up for the freshman if it's still Finley at the time. But it does seem like the offense should be able to have success with almost anybody they run into. So, yeah, I don't know, y'all. I mean, how I feel is like your greatest hope in the Bama-Florida games is probably to win, like, a shootout type of setup where you get things like you got tonight. Can you get a special team score? Can you get a pick six or, a big turnover that sets up? Does the other team just shoot themselves in the foot? Like a couple missed field goals certainly helped tonight as well in terms of just breaking South Carolina's back. So, yeah, honestly, it hasn't changed too much about how I feel about how they match up there. It's not great, but the offense will give you a chance.
I mean, as far as matchup with Alabama, like who matches up with Alabama this year? So let's just get that out of our head because nobody does.
Maybe Ohio State. Ohio State look good, but we'll see.
As far as Florida goes, though, I mean, their defense could be just as bad as ours. Could be. They're the advanced stats and all that stuff. Don't get down to touchdowns per play, but
and even their offense is very good, very very good, but it's not as athletically overwhelming as Alabama's. So, like, I could see LSU's defense having more success against the Gators offense than they would Alabama's.
Right. Yeah, and I think also, like, the day of, like, the stifling defense, especially in the SEC, is kind of over. Like, we see it sunset. Like, look what Alabama did to Georgia.
Yeah.
Alabama will do that to everybody this year. Georgia's the best defense in the country.
That's so crazy to me that Georgia really probably is the best defense in the country, and they didn't stand a chance against them.
Yeah, so let's just get the idea of that, like, these defenses will be stifling. We need situational defense. We need not to give up 2 big plays in a row. We need to force a situational 3 and out. We need a situational turnover. It's going to be situational defense for the rest of the SEC.
Well, it's like you can't do what you did tonight where, you get the big halftime lead tonight and then you come out and then they first drive of the half, they just come down and it's 7 plays. I think it was like 75 yards and a touchdown. Like, that will not cut it in the better games. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Lamar calling from Savannah. Lamar, what's up? What you got?
Hey, what's up, you guys? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask earlier, who does have a good defense left on LSU's schedule?
Okay, let's look, actually.
A&M is probably your best defense you're going to see.
It surely isn't Ole Miss.
No, Ole Miss.
Definitely not. No, it's not Ole Miss. Is Auburn's any good now? So, Lamar, I think what your question has done is drive home the point that Alex just made, right? Is that we are in kind of a weird year in the SEC where it doesn't look like there is an elite defense outside of Georgia. Definitely not one on LSU's schedule.
I will say, though, that LSU, I don't know, maybe they changed things today, but it seemed like they didn't really have a defense the past, the previous 3 games.
Yeah, that's true. And if nothing else, like that,
it wasn't a defense.
If nothing else, they actually had 11 players that for the majority of the game seemed to know what their responsibilities were. Like, that was the best part. And it wasn't anything fancy. We were watching some Whiskey and Ryan in here, and Rohan was talking about this, and I'm in agreement. If you look at the Mizzou game, when and thank you for the call, Lamar, but when Drinkwitz did a lot of pre-snap motion, right? And when he would do that, it was like somebody had dropped a grenade in the middle of LSU's defense. Everybody's like hitting each other, like talking to one another, like, you got him, you got him, you got him. And they were panicking, and the ball was snapped, they'd still be talking. Tonight, none of that. Simple responsibilities, very base, like we said, base cover 2 man. I saw them working some zone as well. So I'll be interested to see how I feel about it on the other side of the film review. But the simplification here seemed to pay dividends in in game number 1. All right, let's go back to the phone. We got Earl in Little Elm, Texas. Earl, what's happening?
Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm sorry, T-Bob. How you doing?
No, it's all good. I've been here since the afternoon, so that plays.
Hey, I got a question about the back end. Like right now, we've had a series of great safeties: LaRon Landry, Eric Reed, Jamal Adams, Delpit, Harris Hampton, and Lewis. Just the bad angles and the losing people in coverage. Even though we have, Stingley and Ricks on the outside, these guys on the back end need some work. They need some work.
That's a great point, Earl. That's actually got to be one of the biggest weaknesses of the defense right now. We talk about secondary as a whole a lot of times, and thank you for the call, Earl. It probably is more in that in that safety group right now.
But do you think, to piggyback off of what Alex said earlier, do you think that we finally hit that situation in the safeties where these guys aren't going to be the elite free safeties and strong safeties that we're used to? It's going to take building blocks in these kind of games to get right, and there will be growing pains throughout the season.
So I do feel like that, but I guess it does get interesting if you start thinking about the actual personnel, though, right? Because you did expect Jacoby Stevens to be one of your strengths coming in, and that has not been the case thus far. I mean, you got Todd Harris back. When Todd Harris went down last year, that was actually super impactful for that defense. I think that hurt them in a lot of ways. So, and then Mo Hampton came on at the end of the year. He was playing very well. So I don't know what it is. I still feel that the talent is maybe there now. Not on the Landry Jamal Adams scale, obviously. I mean, those you're talking about some next level guys there. So maybe you're a bit of a step down, but I almost feel like the safeties problems. I don't know. Maybe they're still more mental. You've given me something to focus on when rewatching this game tomorrow. Certainly, trying to kind of parse through exactly what is going on with that safety position.
Do you see more growing pains down the line with this, specifically secondary, when we run into the Ole Miss, obviously Alabama, but I'm gonna say Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Floridas of the world?
I would say definitely. I haven't really watched A&M's offense too much this year. So I mean, I don't feel that they're anything too creative or out there. But I mean, when you look at what, especially probably Lane does at Ole Miss in terms of the misdirection, in terms of how they use tempo, they're a very good RPO team as well. Yeah, I think. I mean, look at how confused LSU still gets. Right, there was that one little rub route and up the sideline where I think, was it Mo Hampton who had to chase him down from behind? Eventually, it looked like he was maybe going to score. Like, that was very simple, and they got you. If Alabama runs it, I don't think you're catching the cat. And they're going to be doing a lot of that. And that's how Ole Miss had so much success against Alabama. They just constantly confused them and kind of kept them on their back heel. And even though tonight was good, this still feels like a defense, LSU's, that is relatively easy to keep on its back heel. And so, yeah, I think there will be struggles down the road. All right, we're going to take a quick break here in Eagle 91 Game Day. We'll get more of your calls. Jules, Chris, Catherine, you too, 499-9898. Stick around. We're talking Tigers as they get the big win over South Carolina.
During times of trouble, hope keeps us calm, and courage keeps us strong. Here in Louisiana, we know this better than most. After all, we've faced hardship, but hurricanes and floods never washed away what makes us strong. It's our culture, the spirit of resilience that says rise and rise up again. We'll make it through the tough times, we always do. And Blue Cross will always be here to support you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
When morning came to Louisiana, we were hopeful, not hibernating. We were mending fences, feeding neighbors, and holding our kids. When morning came to Louisiana, we were wide awake, planting seeds for next year's crops. We were stronger, ready for what's next.
Eagle 98.1.
All right, welcome back. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. T-Bob, Emil, and Alex hanging out with you. We got Danny and Musso producing. My OTB crew feeling right at home. If you want to call, 225-499-9898 is the number. And, let's just keep taking calls in. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got Jules in Abbeville. Jules, what's up? What's going on?
Oh, man, the Tigers won, and I guess tonight's show is being sponsored by Kool-Aid.
Give it to me, Jules. I want all the Kool-Aid. I'll drink it all night. It's a good night.
You're in the Kool-Aid so deep, your skin is turning purple like your shirt.
Call me Great Bob. I don't care. I love it,
right.
Jules.
Hey, a couple of points real quick. If they had let Max start the fourth quarter, we may have found out that even Max is better than Miles. That's okay.
So wait. So you think that, Jules? So you think that your takeaway from tonight's game, you thought that TJ is better than Miles?
I think he played as well as Miles would have played, and I think his ceiling is higher than Miles.
No, Jules. It's interesting. I don't know if I'm there with you. The ceiling thing is certainly fascinating because Finley's trajectory is fantastic. When you look at how they were kind of down on him when he got there, he was a little heavy, 3-star coming out of high school, and then losing 20 pounds, transforming your body. Now, in this first start, just being unbelievable. Yeah, the trajectory on Finley, it's Like, if it's a small sample size, but yes, you could see yourself being like, okay, this guy's going to be like maybe the best quarterback ever.
Are we giving? Oh, sorry.
No,
sorry,
go on.
sorry. Are we giving Finley the Anthony Jennings treatment right now after the?
Well, I think he played better than anything.
Arkansas
But he played better than anything that we ever
no,
saw.
he did.
Jennings,
He did.
Sure.
He did. But
But yes, there's an element of that. There is an element of that. All right, Jules, what else you got?
All right, okay. The defense, and I know you said it was acceptable against South Carolina, but we still have wide receivers running wide open on deep patterns. It's our good fortune that South Carolina wasn't able to connect on some of these plays. Also, we still cannot stop the simple back out of the backfield swing pass. That's good for 20 yards anytime somebody runs it. So I don't know what Bo and O did for 2 weeks, but it looks like they were slapping their monkeys and not
well,
coaching
but hold on, but they only gave up 400 yards instead of 600. So I mean, Jules, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like glass half full. Thank you very much.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, Jules, take it easy. Slapping the monkeys, huh? I've never heard that one before. Hey, chill out, miss. Chill out. We're good. It is a little sobering when you actually dive into the box score and you see 5.8 yards per carry and 10.6 yards per attempt. So there is still a lot of improvement. But I'll go back to what you said earlier, Alex, which is this just has to be a situational defense. You're not going to be dominant. Just make enough plays to win the game. All right, let's go to Catherine in Dallas. Kat, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, T-Bob, how's it going?
Doing well.
No, good. Glad to hear it. Not surprising considering the game tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess that I do have one quick comment on what Jules said. I think that, Miles throws the ball as well as anybody. TJ threw just as well as Miles could tonight. The only differentiation I would make between the two is that it felt like TJ was a real threat to run in a way that Miles often isn't.
Yeah.
But really that segues into the reason why I called, which was we have just such a cornucopia of fantastic receivers. I am
so true.
It's crazy. I'm a big fan of the Hold That Podcast. I read everything that Brody puts on The Athletic. Do you think that it's just because we have so many great young receivers that Racey McMath really hasn't broken out this year? Or do you think it's more so just, different quarterbacks have different comfort levels with various receivers? So really just wanted to ask that question about Racey, and I'll shut up and let y'all talk.
Catherine, excellent call. Thank you so much for the Hold That Podcast love as well. And it's a really good question. In terms of first let's talk about Finley as a running threat. I think he has more there than Miles. I still don't think that. I don't know if I think it's enough to make a discernible difference, but it is. I mean, if nothing else, the dude is huge, so he can just kind of fall forward for a short gain if he has to.
It's the Cam Newton effect. He's so big that he can just fall forward, but I still don't think that he's actually comfortable running just.
No. I mean, look at that laser that he has for an arm, dude.
You don't need to. You don't need to.
When no touch needed. My guy, those were some ropes that he was spinning out there tonight. Now, as far as the Racey McMath thing goes, something else that we should mention that is just fantastic is that for TJ Finley, and she mentioned a cornucopia of good receivers, for TJ Finley to be a true freshman and complete balls to, 6 different receivers, 7 different? It's 6, right? 6 different receivers by the end of the game.
7.
That is, no, is that 6 or 7?
It's
I've
6,
tried to count this like 8
7.
times, and I
Racey
keep jumping back.
7.
Okay, there we go. But the point is, that's really good. There's a lot of options for him. What do y'all feel about Racey's struggle this far? How's he kind of been shut out?
So I'd be curious to go back and chart all his routes run, because we did talk about in the fan cave, he's open. He just didn't get the ball. But there is the little I know about strategic football is there a lot of times you have clear out routes. You have fly routes that are just meant to clear out the thing. Is he running those that he's just not getting the fly route every single time? Is he on the backside of plays? Is that just the position-wise? So I'd be curious to know that. But he's open, but it's a lot of times it's trips on one side, you have a one on the other side, and he's the one on the other side wide open, but he ain't looking over there.
Well, and every time he's just in a bit of a bad luck where it seems like every time he is open, something goes terribly wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's the pick against Mississippi State. Yes. I think even on the pick tonight, was he super open? Just on the other side of the field, not where he was throwing the ball, but I think maybe for whatever reason, it just hasn't lined up with Racy. And wide receiver is a weird position where, especially in an offense like this, I mean, or we got a lot of Saints fans in the listening audience as well. Like, if you're an offense that spreads the ball around like that, you have to make the most of your opportunity when it comes to you. You might not get it again. And I just feel bad for Racy because every time when his opportunity's kind of popping up, it's just a lot of times through no fault of his own, it just isn't working out, right? It's like a sack or the quarterback sails it. So we'll see, man. I keep saying Racy's going to break through, Catherine, but I guess eventually we'll just it just has to happen. But if nothing else, you can tell that they still feel very confident in him because of where he is in the depth chart and because, like you're saying, Alex, yes, he still is. It's not like he's off the field. He's still on there. So he'll have his game eventually. This is a group where, I don't know. I was going to say this is a group where the guy is going to switch game to game, but the guy is very clearly Terrace Marshall, who, by the way, with 6 catches for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight, Terrace Marshall on the year now is averaging 106 yards per game, 20 yards per catch, and has 7 touchdowns in 4 games. He's unbelievable. Shout out number 6. He told you before the season he was ready to kill whoever lined up across from him, and he has done exactly that. All right, when we get back, we got more Eagle 98.1 Game Day, 499-9898. If you want to get involved, Chris, David, Charlie, and you two, we're coming to you next here on Eagle Game Day.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
Offices in Baton Rouge.
WDGO and HD1 Baton Rouge.
During times of trouble, hope keeps us calm, and courage keeps us strong. Here in Louisiana, we know this better than most. After all, we've faced hardship, but hurricanes and floods never washed away what makes us strong. It's our culture, the spirit of resilience that says rise and rise up again. We'll make it through the tough times, we always do. And Blue Cross will always be here to support you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I can't tell you how many people tried to discourage me when I said, I'm opening up a haunted house. If you love doing something, don't let anything or anyone stand in your way.
How he comes up with this stuff in his head and designs it is mind-boggling.
Debbie and Home Bank understand my business and understand that it's not normal. They've worked with me since the beginning to help my business grow.
Eagle 98.1.
All right, you know the drum roll means we're back. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. T-Bob, Emil, Alex hanging out with you. We got Danny Cardenas, Matthew Musso producing. Let's dive right back to the phone lines. Chris has been holding in Chicago. Chris, what's up, bro?
Hey, not much, T-Bob. Hey, question for you. Hey, Catherine nailed it before me, so I'm at least going to put in my question. Or I guess my other question was, hey, you know offensive line more than, well,
anyone. Thank you. Yes, we'll just say anyone, yeah, Chris. I agree.
Yeah, what do you want? What do you want from me at this rate? Right? What do you want? You want me to bend over? No, okay. But either way, hey, how can Ed Ingram? I mean, he's one guy that comes in on the line, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How can he make that much of a difference? I mean, come on. Is the Charles Turner? I know that the Charles Turner gap is that big, but
it's so.
How
Chris,
can it make that much of a difference?
Yeah, Chris.
I mean, I'm not sure.
What you're touching
on
here
tonight.
is
It looked great tonight.
What you're touching on here, Chris, and thank you because I always love talking some O-line, and you're right. We shouldn't have gone this far without giving love to Ed Ingram, because he was fantastic and he makes all the difference in the world. Now, I do think so. We were just actually talking. I think Missouri might have a good D-line. I'm not entirely sure. I wasn't terribly impressed with South Carolina's defensive line, but I think more than anything, something you're touching on, I've never understood, but guards make all the difference in the running game. And schematically, it makes sense because on power and stuff, the guards are the one that are pulling. And when you think about a guard and where they're positioned in a line, they're going to have combo blocks both with the tackle and with the center, so they can affect it almost no matter which way the ball is going. But guards can just have an undue effect in the running game. I remember, I think it was Steve Hutchinson back in the day when he left the Vikings. I was a little kid, and this has always stuck with me. He left the Vikings. Their run game went off a cliff. He goes to Seattle. Sean Alexander becomes MVP. And I'm not saying it's one-to-one, but a great player at that position can make a massive difference. More than, like you're saying, Chris, more than you would think that just one player could account for. And that's what you saw. And also, Ed Ingram's really good. That's the key. He's your best O-lineman. He's an NFL guy. Remember, Ed Ingram's so good that I thought that even after years of not playing that he would just walk in and start over Adrian McGee last year. Now, he had a little bit more rust than I had accounted for, but what you're seeing is Ed Ingram and the difference that he makes. And as far as the Turner drop-off, it just is what it is. It's not really on Turner. That's more about just how good Ingram is and Turner just being in a weird spot because he's so young and he's asked to back up that position. So, yeah, Ingram made all the difference in the world. Now, he was terribly missed against Mizzou. Just look at the goal line. I think you win that game if you have Ed Ingram. I think he gets the push to get you in the end zone. And you saw it tonight when they had to have it on short yardage. Where were they going? They were going behind Ed Ingram. So I thank you for the call, Chris, and a great call. I don't know that that's the most satisfactory answer, but that is my take. Guards just have an undue impact on the running game. All right, let's go to Charlie in Lafayette. My guy, Charlie, what's up?
How you doing? Well, T-Bob, I actually didn't get to see the game because I was officiating a game tonight, but I kept up with it. But I did kind of want to listen to you, and I enjoy. I think you're handling the radio calls really well.
Thank you, Charlie.
You handle Jules. Listening to Jules kind of reminds me of the sports bar hero type that critical and all this kind of stuff. But probably.
But it's okay, Charlie. Like I like that because it's nice to have a little diversity of opinion. The same way that I enjoy somebody who brings a little positivity on a negative night. I'm not closed off to a little cold water on a night like tonight because we are kind of running away with ourselves. We're celebrating. There are still realities that we have to address.
No, I get it. I get one of the things that I'm looking at it, and I've heard people that when they're talking about the Fireball Bellini stuff, one of the things they need to remember is that teams and coaches are not going to get fired because as much this year because of the financial hit you take from that. So that's what people need to realize. Bo Pelini started off really slow when he first came, and the defense got better. So I think that just to spend that kind of year, the other thing is, I think that what helps the defense, what probably helps us tonight, is you have a good running game, and let's face it, against Missouri, they were back on the field, bam, bam, bam. I mean, obviously they missed assignments, but a lot of times you miss assignments when you're fatigued.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
And one last thing, you did talk about Alabama, no one matched up with Alabama. I think there's a team named Clemson that probably would.
That's fair. Okay.
Match up them pretty well, but really, I think you're doing a really good job on the radio. And,
Thank you, Charlie.
And I think Matt Moscona should be jealous of you that he can get to where you're at.
I agree. I completely agree, Charlie. In fact, I think this is the smartest call that we've ever fielded on this station. So thank you for that. Now you did touch. So one of the things he's hitting on there. What was the time possession night?
For LSU, it was 37 minutes, and for South Carolina, it was 22 minutes.
So you had the ball an entire quarter more. So absolutely, that's a defense, LSU's defense, that's going to be way more rested than they have been in recent games. And that kind of speaks to what I was talking about with Finley earlier, right? In the Finley Miles thing, is just that it was such a better overall game in every single facet tonight that, look, a rising tide raises all ships. And so if you can run the ball that effectively and you can control the ball, that's going to pay dividends for every other phase of the game. And you saw that it tonight. I thought there was something else Charlie said that I wanted to get to, but I'm not remembering. So let's go back to the phone lines. We got David in New Orleans. David, what's up, man? What you got?
What's going on, T-Bob? One of the things I noticed about LSU, and I don't know if it's just Coach O, but I think it's with Bo, they play a lot of the wrong guy. And here's what I'm talking about. There's no way that Joseph Evans should be starting over J. Roy. No way. There's no way that Glenn Logan should be starting over Apoika. It's just no way. And it seems like, okay, and then also with Flott, he's had a bad couple of games, but there was a reason he was a 3-star recruit. Put Dwight McGlory in. I mean, these are guys that were high recruits. And they keep rolling out these guys, and I'm looking at what the hell are you doing?
But then again, David, we can't be too married to recruiting rank. It's like I do want to talk about what you're talking about because I think you are right, and we've seen it. Like we saw them make a concerted effort to give the ball to Emory more and to make sure that he was in the game. Torrey Carter did not come in for a Reed Gilbert tonight. So like you have seen it at times, but also look, TJ Finley was a 3-star, right?
Okay. He was a 3-star, but looking at TJ, he didn't just have offers from lower schools. He had offers from Bama, certain other good schools. I mean, the kid we knew he had the potential.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, looking at J. Roy and the problems that he caused in the backfield, that's the difference why this scheme isn't working. Bo Pelini needs playmakers at the defensive tackle
and at
the linebacker.
I mean, that's, yes.
Clark, look, him and Jabril Cox, they need to just sit Clark, move Stevens in the linebacker, and just bring in Toles. It makes much more sense. You know what I'm saying? Because Stevens, you can use him like Isaiah Simmons. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's funny that you say that, David, because we just were like, wasn't that just his last commercial break? We were just like, could they have moved Jacoby Stevens to middle linebacker in the offseason? Okay, David, great call, man. And so I'm with you in a lot of ways. But it's just tough on the outside for us to make personnel decisions because we just don't know what's going on in practice, right? Like we're not in the meeting room. So like I have to assume if one guy's playing that the other guy's not getting it or the other guy's just better. Like I find it tough. And on Flott, I mean, Flott was excellent. last year. Flott has struggled this year, but I still think that Flott probably is your best guy. Remember, if Kerry Vincent doesn't opt out, Flott would not be playing. You would have Ricks and Stingley, and then you would have and then you'd have Kerry Vincent as your nickel, who a lot of y'all hated him last year, and I know you're kind of missing him now, right? Be careful what you wish for. So I don't know that I buy that McLaughlin's just better than Flott because he had a better high school rating. I still think ultimately that has to be earned. Now with Damone Clark, obviously it does feel like almost no matter how you feel about the guys who are playing behind him, you might just have to change it up and start somebody else and it's Baskerville and see if it gets better, because Clark just seems like he is in a complete funk right now.
Yeah, and I think the curious one, it's hard to argue about like most of what the caller said, but the Apu Aika one is the one that just gets me because he didn't play against Missouri because he had a bad week of practice. This week he played.
Which is odd.
Yeah, and then this week he played really well, and we were cheering when we saw him make a tackle.
Yeah, he had a couple nice plays in a row.
Yeah. So that's one of the guys like Jaquel and Roy. Like I don't know enough about him to say he's better than Evans, but whatever's more disruptive.
I will watch the D-line much closer this week, and I will try to have by Monday I will have a much better idea of if I think Roy is doing enough where he should be like in the majority of the reps that starts right now, or if it's if I kind of like the pace that they're bringing him along on. I know that he played well tonight. I don't feel like I remember him like flashing too big at any times. Anybody in here off the top of your head? Yeah, I didn't think so either. All right, we got Joshua in Baton Rouge. Joshua, what's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, guys. In 0 to 10, the Kool-Aid, whereas 0 is the second to last snap of that Tennessee game and 10 is the last snap of the Tennessee game.
Yeah.
I have another question, but where is the Kool-Aid 0 to 10?
I am enjoying tonight's Kool-Aid. If we're talking about how this Kool-Aid will hold over a season, I'm probably at like a 5. Like I'm still like I guess my season expectations didn't change as much as I was just like there wasn't a lot that they were going to be able to do to win me back tonight. I just needed to make sure that I didn't think that the season was completely broken tonight. I used the word stabilize a couple times in my intro. And so while talking about tonight's game is very fun because everything went so well, this did feel like a stabilization performance more than anything to me, Josh. What about you, Alex and Mill?
The Kool-Aid tonight was it's like we used a half packet tonight. It's that watered down where you get like midway through spring practice. We're like, we're going to run out of Kool-Aid at the end of before practice. And yeah, so right now it's like, I don't know. We're still making half bags. Once we get, I want to use a full bag when we get to Bama.
But it's better. But it's exactly. But it's better
than water.
It's better than what we were doing before, which is the worst Kool-Aid you've ever had.
Yeah.
So what do we need to do to keep rolling next week with Auburn? What's the big key there?
Look, let's be clear. I'm not terribly threatened by Auburn.
Neither am I.
I don't think they have a good offense. Like, if we talk about style-making fights and matchups, like, Auburn does not have a great offense to take advantage of you. I mean, Seth Williams is their greatest threat, but I love a team with a receiver as their greatest threat because I will put Derek Stingley on him. And I won't think twice about it. And even Eli Riggs. I would love to see Eli Riggs do battle with Seth Williams. Like, he'll get his here and there. But, yeah, I don't know that I'm worried about Auburn.
But what if a Bo Pelini defense makes Bo Nixon look like an all-star?
That would be sorely disappointing because we all know that Bo Nix is not. And I was someone who I gave Bo Nix a lot of rope this year where I was like, I think he could maybe be the most impactful player in the West because if he's good, Auburn could be really good. If he's not, Auburn won't be. I don't know that I believe that statement anymore because I actually don't know that I think that Auburn's particularly good anywhere. I mean, Auburn got lucky against Arkansas. They fumbled that snap. They should have lost that game. If you look today, Ole Miss had a touchdown that when they had all the momentum in the world that would have put them up 9 late, or 8, maybe 9 late as, the ball, whatever. They didn't review it. The point is Auburn is so razor thin close to being 1-4 instead of 3-2 that I kind of like it. I kind of like the 3-2 as well, though, because this could be next week a nice win for LSU. Like, LSU showed me enough tonight that I think they will beat Auburn, Joshua, from where we sit tonight.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Absolutely. You have a great night.
You
All right, let's, we will take a break, and then we'll do one more segment of calls. So, okay, just take this last one. All right, let's go to Brett in Lake Charles. Brett, what's up, bro? How y'all making it down there? You doing okay?
I'm doing just fine. Question, T-Bob, I know you play, so I want to ask you this. You know, as a coach, you gotta be hard on your players, but you also got to be easy. So, but Blue Pelini's a hard man.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like he's lost the locker room as far as their effort?
And I'm not gonna hang up on you, Brett. We'll answer this real quickly. We kind of were talking about that at the beginning of the game, like after that terrible opening drive, it looked like he was yelling a lot, and maybe guys weren't looking at him a bit. But like, I guess I kind of struggle to read too much into body language. I will say this, Brett: if he truly loses the locker room, we will learn that through the grapevine. Right, like that will. I think that will then that will start to be how rumors start. Like that'll start to kind of leak out of the program. I don't know that they're there yet. I do think though, if you're gonna be a super yelly coach, as a player, I have to trust that if I do what you're saying, that I will be successful. And I don't know that they have that relationship right now. But tonight was a step in the right direction. Tonight was a step in repairing a little bit of that, perhaps.
Thanks, T-Bob.
All right, Brett, take it easy, bro. And shout out to everybody in Lake Chuck. Hope y'all are doing okay. Keep holding it down with the storms and everything. We love y'all, just like we love all Louisiana. We love the LSU Tigers as well as they get the big win over South Carolina. All right, when we get back, we can get to the YouTube chats if no one else calls. But if you want to call, 225-499-9898. We'll be back with more Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
When morning came to Louisiana, we were hopeful, not hibernating. We were mending fences, feeding neighbors, and holding our kids. When morning came to Louisiana, we were wide awake, planting seeds for next year's crops. We were stronger, ready for what's next. And together, as we build anew, Blue Cross stands ready to support you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one, but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge. Innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I can't tell you how many people tried to discourage me when I said, I'm opening up a haunted house. If you love doing something, don't let anything or anyone stand in your way.
How he comes up with this stuff in his head and designs it is mind-boggling.
Debbie and Home Bank understand my business and understand that it's not normal. They've worked with me since the beginning to help my business grow.
Eagle 98.1.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Eagle 98.1 Game Days. Talking a little USFL. Talking Michigan Panthers. What is Delaware Punch? I don't know what Delaware Punch is.
The worst. It's the worst.
Really? People are saying that it's the actual best purple drink.
It's
No,
horrible.
No.
It is an uncarbonated punch in a can. It's so bad.
Best purple drink.
Uncarbonated can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I used to like Gatorade out of a can.
Okay.
And that's not carbonated.
You're like one of 5 people that's had that.
Yeah, I know. And it was another super privileged thing because the only place that had it was the Falcons locker room.
Okay.
And it was a kid. And as a kid, it was a free vending machine, right? So, like, you didn't have to put money in. And I thought that was mind blowing. And so I would just sit there and keep pressing it and just watch the cans pile up. Be like, oh, my God, dude, look at this. I could just drink forever. I'll never go thirsty. All right, let's go to Joey on the phone line. Joey, what's up, man? What you got?
Hey, guys. Appreciate the time. Look, first thing I want to say is I hadn't called in since the night after the Mississippi State game.
Yeah.
And y'all gave me a hard time for suggesting that it might be worse than we thought because Costello didn't really show me too much.
Oh, dude, Joey, you were absolutely right. Allow me to eat crow there. I was dead wrong. You were 100% right. Costello did not show a bunch. That was more about LSU just being horrible.
Right.
So wait, that's a little pressure now, though, Joey, because you hit that one out the park. So, like, what do you have for me tonight? Now I'm kind of on the edge of my seat.
Well, my question is, what do you think the defense, what I've seen, especially tonight, where I've seen problems, concerns me because I've seen technique issues. We're not tackling. We're not taking good pursuit angles. Our defensive backs, even when they have coverage, aren't getting their heads around. And I feel like those things are not scheme dependent. Those are just fundamentals that we're not executing, and I'm not used to seeing that from LSU defenses, regardless of our scheme. So do you think that's something that can be improved with scheme, or is that just a matter of just have to get better somehow?
I mean, it's look. I think that the main thing that like schematically how that can affect your technique is exactly what LSU's tried to do, which is if we lessen the mental workload, can that allow guys to then more kind of let their physicality flourish, the technique that they've been taught, can that come to the fore? I think you saw that a bit, but you're kind of right, Joey. Like the pursuit angles are kind of inexplicable at times. Like a basic understanding of how to stop a guy in the angle you need to take and Damone Clark's angles to try to tackle sometimes are kind of out of whack. I don't know that I noticed a ton of missed tackles tonight.
They weren't near. Like, that was the problem. The guys weren't really near in a position to make as a pursuit angle. Like, Maurice Hampton was a guy last year that had great pursuit angles. And this year, it's like he forgot how to do that.
So, Joey, I think, to me, at the core of what you're saying, and I agree with this, in terms of improving technique, I mean, that's just an everyday thing, right? You can keep working on it. It's going to be hard to make drastic changes during the season. But then again, you think with reps, it just gets better and better. But I'm trying to remember what I was about to say. I just lost it. It's freaking 12:30 at night here.
Well, I feel like that the offense being disrupted that could account for a lot of that. I mean, ordinarily these guys would have a ton more reps from spring practice and working in summer workouts, stuff like that. So maybe that is just an effect. But I see.
Well, I would say this. Now, I don't know if I agree with like the weird off season as much. You did lose a lot of reps in summer for sure, but you had a pretty extended camp, right? Like you've had a lot of practice. This is what I was going to say, Joey. I think what you're touching on, and you are right here, is that Bo Pelini was so bad and was so bad out the gates, and that was so the obvious kind of core of the problem, that all of our focus got turned on that, and we have kind of through that been giving the players a bit of a free pass. But when it's as bad as it has been, if we're being fully objective, you're right. Everybody has a hand in the pie. And the players also are not playing very well. Like tonight, yeah, why did a lot of times, why did the defense look so much better? Because B.J. Ujulari was beating the guy and getting a sack. Like he won his individual battle, and then it made the entire defense look good. It makes Bo Pelini look good. So, yes, on top of maybe being in a scheme that hasn't always put them in the best position, the personnel deserves blame as well, and they have not always played well tonight. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see if that improves. Another great call, though, Joey.
All right, thank you.
Take it easy, man. Shout out. Holding down in Vidalia. All right. I want to get to one of these comments, and then we'll go to break. Fantastic Funky Bunch says, I liked how Finley got in defenders' faces when they tried to give him the business. He's got confidence. Again, that to me was the single most impressive part of TJ Finley tonight, is that he carried himself like a player. Like even, and remember, and this was one of the critiques of Miles in game one, was he did look a little green, right? He looked like somebody who hadn't started a game in a while. Finley kind of carried none of that with him tonight, to the point where, I mean, what did LSU start on tonight? We didn't even talk about that. A 16-play drive off the bat? First ever drive as a starting quarterback in college in an SEC game, and you go 16 plays, 8 minutes? I mean, that's pretty unreal. So, yeah, I like seeing that. I like the toughness. He stood in and took hits, and I like a guy who's going to jaw. A lot of times if you're talking crap, you're feeling confident, and TJ Finley was feeling confident tonight. All right. When we get back, we'll do a scoreboard here on Eagle 98.1 Game Day. So stick around, and we'll be back soon. T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs. Who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays? You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more.
Eagle 98.1. The First South Farm Credit College Football Scoreboard. First South Farm Credit. Financing farms and land since 1916.
All right, let's dive into. I did not have my headphones on, Musa. Do we need to play a scoreboard thing here? Or this is it? This is it. We're at the scoreboard.
Come on, T. We got 2 segments left.
Scotty says yards per game will not keep Brennan as a starter if he doesn't improve on third down. If Finley can move the offense the way he did tonight, I'm afraid for Brennan. Again, tonight's third down success was less about quarterback play and more about running the ball, getting to third and manageable, putting yourself in position to be successful. I know. I just wanted to get to that real quick. All right, let's dive into college football. It was a great day today as number 12 BYU is currently beating up on Texas State with 4 minutes left, 52-14. San Diego State's winning over UNLV 27-6 with 1 quarter left. San Jose State is playing host to Air Force with 5 minutes left. They lead 17-6. Number 1, Clemson handled Syracuse 47-21. Number 2, Alabama did what they do every single year and beat the hell out of Tennessee 48-17. Number 3, Notre Dame dominates Pitt 45-3. While Ohio State makes their very successful debut, shutting down Scott Frost's Nebraska Cornhuskers 52-17. It was Oklahoma State who escaped a ranked-on-ranked matchup to remain unbeaten as they beat Iowa State 24-21. And Indiana, shout out Brownie Miller, as Indiana gets it done 36-35 on an awesome 2-point conversion in overtime to win the game. It was sweet. Number 9, Cincinnati. Big winners over SMU. I didn't realize that. Another little ranked-on-ranked matchup there. Cincy remains unbeaten in the top 10. Number 11, Miami had a battle against Virginia, 19-14. Miami, the U finding a way to get the win, even if the offense wasn't clicking. Number 14, North Carolina bounced back to last week's disappointing beating NC State 48-21, while Michigan made a statement in the Big Ten, dominating Minnesota 49-24. Virginia Tech may have been ranked, but it didn't help them as the Wake Forest Demon Deacons get the 23-16 win. And Les Miles continues to just be Les Miles in Kansas as Kansas State wins 55-14. Number 22, Marshall beat Florida Atlantic 20-9, while the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers moved to 5-0, beating Georgia Southern 28-14. By the way, go look up the Coastal Carolina post-game celebration. If you have not seen it, it is unreal. Army beat Mercer 49-3. Auburn, man, that was today. That was such a good game today. Auburn beat Ole Miss 35-28. It was Oklahoma who beat TCU. TCU falling to 1-4. Oklahoma moving above 500 to 3-2. Sooners win 33-14. Memphis over Temple 41-29. Charlotte over UTEP. The game nobody could quit talking about today. It is Charlotte who comes out of it 38-28 winners. I was going to say their mascot, but I don't know what Charlotte's mascot is.
The 49ers.
Oh, really?
The Miners versus the Niners was that matchup.
Wow,
yes.
How rhyme mythic. Louisville, 48-16 winners over Florida State. What the hell? Florida State beat UNC last week, then you go do this? And an upset in the Big Ten. How do y'all feel about Greg Schiano?
He's back.
He's back, baby.
He's back.
I'm not the biggest Greg Schiano fan, but Rutgers did beat Michigan State 38-27.
Michigan State turned the ball over 9 times.
Wait, what?
In that football game.
What?
And Greg Schiano defense.
You heard me.
9?
Stout.
Oh my God. I hope when Rutgers went to kneel it, that Michigan State sent people like at the center's knees trying to break it up, like Schiano used to in the league. You bum.
7,
Liberty,
my bad.
7 times.
7 times.
Damn.
I apologize.
Liberty 56-35 winners as Liberty moves to 6-0 on the year. UCF 51, Tulane 34. Yeah, Hugh Freeze and Liberty undefeated. Middle Tennessee beats Rice 40-34. That was the game that featured the quad doink, right? And kick that hit the cross 4 times. Houston winners over Navy 37-21. Texas 27-16 winners over Dave Aranda's Baylor. Purdue beat Iowa? Oh, nice job, Boilermakers, 24-20. Georgia State 36, Troy 34. Boston College dominates Georgia Tech 48-27. Western Kentucky 13, Chattanooga 10. M-I-Z-Z-O-U suck, Kentucky. Missouri wins 20-10. Texas Tech 34, West Virginia. No! West Virginia was winning this game. Damn it. Texas Tech 34, West Virginia 27. LSU, the 52-24 winners over South Carolina. Not to brag, the first note of the night after LSU's opening play, we wrote LSU by 30. That was almost exactly 30. South Alabama 38, UL Monroe 14. Boise State 42, Utah State 13. Nevada 37, Wyoming 34. Hawaii 34, Fresno State 19. Northwestern kills the Terrapins 43-3. UTSA beats the team from Shreveport. Louisiana Tech 27-26. And Ruston, whatever, we'll count it. North Louisiana, right? 3-1-8 is the point. And then last night in Big Ten action, Wisconsin beat Illinois 45-7. And on Thursday, App State beat Arkansas State. That is your scoreboard. Now, let's go to a little stat check. I just realized I did a ton of talking. I probably should have set you up to read a stat check. Do you have a box score pulled up over there? I do. Okay, if you want me to get into it.
I do.
Okay, so give me the first, Musso, hit it.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day Stat Check.
All right, you know what? I just kind of want to see how this goes. So, because I really have no idea how it goes, so y'all just start reading stats. Let me see how you handle this.
TJ Finley.
Okay.
17 of 21.
Hell yeah.
265 yards.
Give me some pace. Give me some pace here. A little juice. That's
2
great.
touchdowns.
Hell
1
yeah.
interception. Alex, if you want to take the rushing game.
Tyrion Davis-Price, 22 carries, 135 yards, 6.1 average with a touchdown. John Emery Jr., 18 carries, 88 yards, 4.9 a carry.
How weird is that? How those two performances kind of shaped up, given how we've been talking about them all night long. That TDP ends up statistically with the better night, kind of.
Yeah.
But like, there's no doubt that John Emery remains RB1. All right, I'm going to steal this back so we can just roll through this. In total yards, LSU outgained South Carolina 541 to 403. On third down, LSU was great tonight, 8 of 10, holding South Carolina just 3 of 10 in the same situation. LSU averaged 12 yards per attempt to South Carolina's 10. This is where you maybe get a big concern. On the ground, South Carolina managed 169 yards and just 29 carries, 5.8 per, while LSU's at 5.1 per. Maybe the stat of the night, though, because of the ball control in the running game for LSU, they control the ball for a full quarter more than South Carolina, 37-22. Y'all mentioned the quarterback and the running backs. How about the receiver, Terrace Marshall Jr., 6 catches, 88 yards, 2 scores. Jeray Jenkins, 3 catches, 76 yards, keeps getting better and better. Coy Moore, 3 catches at 34 yards. Reed Gilbert had 2 for 27. Jondre Kirkland had 2. And Keyshawn Boutte got involved as well with 1. The leading tackler was Jabril Cox. He had 7 tackles on the night, including half a TFL. How about Jacoby Stevens? Also tied 7 tackles on the night. Micah Baskerville coming in for Damone Clark. He had 6 tackles, as did Clark. But the guy on defense for tonight was B.J. Ojulari, as he had 3 sacks on the night. Big time for Ojulari. Andre Anthony had a sack as well. And Eli Ricks had a big pick 6, giving him 3 interceptions in 4 games on the year. Trey Palmer had the first kick return for a touchdown in Tiger Stadium since 1981. So if you're as like all of us in this room had never seen that before, you saw that tonight. Shout out to you, Trey Palmer, playing 4D chess, fumbling the kick just so you could score a touchdown. And Cade York in his 1 opportunity goes 1 of 1 and 7 of 7 on extra points. That is your stat check. When we get back, we're going to hand out some game balls here on Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
During times of trouble, hope keeps us calm, and courage keeps us strong. Here in Louisiana, we know this better than most. After all, we've faced hardship, but hurricanes and floods never washed away what makes us strong. It's our culture, the spirit of resilience that says rise and rise up again. We'll make it through the tough times, we always do. And Blue Cross will always be here to support you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you. Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
When morning came to Louisiana, we were hopeful, not hibernating. We were mending fences, feeding neighbors, and holding our kids. When morning came to Louisiana, we were wide awake, planting seeds for next year's crops. We were stronger, ready for what's next. And together, as we build anew, Blue Cross stands ready to support you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900.
Eagle 98.1. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Game Balls. Game Balls. Game Balls. Presented by Snap Fitness. Snap Fitness. Get fitter faster at snapfitness.com.
My social media feed right now, the thoughties really do come out at night, don't they, I guess. Welcome back, Eagle 98.1 Game Day. We're in the post-game, wrapping up what has been a great day today. Huge thank you to Danny Carnes, Matthew Musso, Alex Anderson, Emil McClellan for hanging out with us, and all of you wonderful listeners, callers, chatters, everybody else who's hung out today. If I could give every single one of you a game ball, I would. But you didn't play in the game, so we're going to give the game balls to the people who actually did. So let's give away some game balls.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Game Balls. Game Balls. Game Balls. Presented by Snap Fitness. Snap Fitness. Get fitter faster at snapfitness.com.
Looks like the shoe is on the other foot, Matthew.
Well, I mean, technically I played that as our rejoin, so it had already played. But, I mean, it's good. It was a good segue, T. It was good. It was good. I like it.
So let's go ahead. I'm going to give away the offensive game balls here. Obviously, you can't get away from TJ Finley. Everything we talk about all night, to be a freshman in that setting and do what he just did is nothing short of incredible. Like, he only made one mistake. One of the reasons why he was so set up for success was because of the offensive line. I mean, they protected him all night. They ran the ball excellently. And so that's why my second game ball and the last one for the offensive side, look, Terrace Marshall, incredible, right? But I'm going to get it to Ed Ingram. It made a massive difference running the game. The pressure that took off of Finley and Justin pass protection, Ed Ingram was absolutely fantastic, and he really showed his value tonight. So TJ Finley and Ed Ingram, you get my offensive game balls. Emil, you got special teams. What's good?
My guy would be Trey Palmer. First time in 30 years now.
40, but who's mathing?
30, 40 years, excuse me. But a 93-yard return for a touchdown. It's a beautiful thing, and it's good for him, especially if you fumble a kick return to start off and return it.
Wait, so is he going to be the should he be the punt returner now too? Right, like Stingley should not have to return any more punts at this point. Palmer now has a touchdown and a kick return. He has a punt return touchdown and a kick return touchdown to his name. He needs to be your full-time returner.
He's your guy. He's your guy.
And he is also our game ball winner for special teams. Alex, you got the defense. Who you got?
Defensive game ball. When we switch to the 4-3, go 4-3 attacking defense, right? What's the staple of that? Defensive line.
Yep.
Especially your defensive ends, and you can't go look any further than Beej Ojolari. 3 sacks on the night. And it always came at a time when you needed them. 3rd and longs. And then your other one, it's got to go to Eli Ricks. He got his 3rd pick of the season and his first pick 6. Chuck the deuces on the way out. Lucky we didn't get a flag, but I'm so glad. That was amazing.
Underrated moment. You're right. He could have got that touchdown call back. He did straight up throw the deuces at that dude as he was going in the end zone.
He didn't extend. He just kind of tossed him up. He didn't extend the deuces.
Which is even better because you look like kind of a nerd if you're going to extend it. You got to be smooth at that thing, and he was.
It was slick. Slick Rick.
Yeah,
Pick
Slick Rick.
Slick Rick.
Pick 6 Ricks, baby. All right. That'll do it for us here on Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Shout out, Hanny. Hope you're feeling better, man. Huge thank you to Alex and Emil for not just hanging out in the fan cave, but also here on Game Day. Danny and Musso, an excellent job producing as always. And like I said, everybody who gets involved in the chat that's still hanging out with us right now, that's calling the show, y'all are the best. And y'all are why it's so much fun. And y'all are why we get to do this job, quite frankly. So thank you. Good win for LSU. Exactly what the program needed. Now you got to stack these days. Try to keep getting better from here on out. We will as well. Have a great day, and we'll see you next Saturday. Who dat? Go Saints, win tomorrow.
During times of trouble, hope keeps us calm, and courage keeps us strong.